What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are covering GCW One Night Only live from the 2300 slash ECW Arena in South Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. First airing live on Triller TV Plus on May 2nd, 2026 at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, this entire card, like, there's really only like one bad match, but it's not really that bad of a match. It just, compared to everything else, it was just bad. We start off this match, or this card, with the most banging opening contest I have ever seen. You had a 6-man DLC match for the GCW Ultraviolent Championship. All but one of these entrances, wow, I was going too good and I forgot. All but one of these entrances happened on the GCW kickoff show. Little disappointing, that's all I can say. But you get to see the entrances of the other 5 participants in this match. Coming out first, you had the American Deathmatch ace, John Wayne Murdoch, the Ringmaster, Little Sicko, Slade, Reed by God Bentley, Nino Extremo, and finally, you had the champion come out, the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont. Having the other 5 come out and cutting to the full-on broadcast for this made it very excellent, made the visuals very excellent, just to see how this was done. The match starts off hot. Everybody beats Tremont. Yeah, Tremont can, probably start to bleed with a punch. So he starts to bleed. They take him off to the back. Just get him out of the fray. Let's not work around him. I don't know if he's hurt or just something's going on, but they pull him into the back. And then just action galore. Spot after spot after spot after spot. And that's not just, weaponry. It's everything. You had ladder spots. At one point, you had a little Sicko going and basically monkeying off of the holder. And the visual, and then Nino comes in and connects with a cutter. It's an excellent match. I would recommend, if you can, watch this match. But by the end, Tremont comes back out just when I thought John Wayne Murdoch was going to just take this title away from Matt Tremont. Tremont comes out, climbs the ladder, starts to use it on Murdoch. Murdoch wrestles it away, throws the fork on the floor, and Tremont has another fork. Tremont uses that other fork, knocks Murdoch to the floor, retaining his UV title in a ladder match, for fuck's sake. And this isn't the first ladder match Tremont has won. He won another one back at the Hammerstein Ballroom, where he unified the GCW Ultraviolent Championship and the GCW Extreme Championship, which was the catalyst to his first run that he lost to Otis Cogar, and then Cogar held it for about 3 months after that, leading to the cluster fuck. So Tremont retaining his GCW Ultraviolent Championship in what was a banger of a match. I can't recommend it more. I don't know if I can get download clips, but I know there's a ton of clips putting up on social media. If you want to search up the hashtag GCW Arena, should get you a lot where you're going for the entire night, just not this match, but specifically look at photos and videos of this match. Then after that banger of a match, which I forget if I said, but I give that match 5 stars. I give the previous match 5 fucking stars. Not the first 5-star match on this card, I'll give you that. We had the Gnomie, Gabby Forza, aka Mrs. Bear Bronson, versus Tony Deppen. Now, Gabby, not just because she's Bear's wife, came into the GCW, which Bear openly admitted in an interview that he said she told him that he does not want, she does not want to be in GCW if it's going to hurt him. So this is a mutually agreed upon thing. She has earned this spot in GCW. Takes on Tony Deppen, who's returning to pro wrestling after a few years off and some losses, and debating whether or not he wanted to return to pro wrestling at all. And they just put on a banger. Like I said, this card was full of bangers. Brett went all out. Gabby Forza picks up the victory. You know me, rocking it. We'll see how she does and if she takes any more GCW appearances. But I gave this match 4 stars. Then we moved into your showcase 8-man tag match, which admittedly, as I put, it started off good. Then shit happened. But you had You're Fucking with a Different Boy, Jimmy fucking Lloyd, Juni Underwood versus Flyin Ryan O'Neal, and Terry Yaki taking on the Legends. This was a billed as a team new school versus team old school match. Very much was. You had Ruckus, Greg Excellent, B-Boy, and Spidar Nate Webb. Nate Webb, no stranger to GCW. Obviously, Ruckus, no stranger as well, because he not only was on this card, but a couple other of those Northeastern cards that they've had. Just an overall, it was going good. You know, the Young Guns started off hot. Just was going good. Then you had Griffin McCoy and Kerry Morton coming out and interfering and running their mouths, ending this match in a contest. The match itself, what was there, 3.5 stars. It's the fuckery that happened afterwards. You know, they're running down the Legends and blah blah blah. You had Homicide come out. Then, they get scared off by him. Then you had GCW founder, not GCW, CZW founder John fucking Zandig come out. And they shit cans Morton and does all that stuff. Everybody celebrates. We roll right in to Ruckus's ECW/2300 Arena Hall of Fame induction. Very heartfelt, very flattering. MLJ posted on social media saying that the shirt he was wearing that night, because he was wearing a blackout shirt, was the same shirt he wore when he was a fan going to the arena and watching Ruckus. And he had the pleasure of inducting him into the ECW/2300 Arena Hall of Fame. Only 3 people were in this Hall of Fame so far. You have Sabu, who got it back in the 90s. You have Nick fucking Gage. And now we have Ruckus. By far, Ruckus is a living legend amongst indie wrestlers, especially in the Northeast. Then we had a banger of a match that, again, had to change, but the change was good and it fell off a storyline that we now know because of a JCW homecoming event that was also held partially live on YouTube, where the participant number one called Manders, took on Gabby Forza that night. And after the match, and after beating Gabby, says Atticus or whoever's holding that GCW world title, I'm coming after you, and we're going to do it at Ring of Dreams. So, your main event for the show, my first GCW show that I will ever have been attended, and I've been a fan of GCW like permanently for less than a year, more like 8 months. I probably started like toward the end of 2025. Is set. It will be whoever the GCW World Champion is versus one called Manders, and this plays into who's the current GCW World Champion. Is we had one called Manders versus the who was supposed to be Atticus Cogar, but again, because of the previous night, watch that review, which that link will be in the description down below under my previous video. He's still injured. He got a bad cut at the clusterfuck. He is unable to compete for at least the foreseeable future. I would assume this would last till at least the Midwest tour, depending on what they have in the meantime. But he comes out, does an entrance, say, "I'm not cleared to compete," but he is. Napier attacks Manders from behind with a steel chair. The match gets going. Otis, joins in on the beatdown, but Manders quickly gets the advantage over both of them. Napier then just gets hit with lariat after lariat after lariat after big move after big move. Manders does his combo. Northern lariat, southern lariat. 1, 2, 3. Picking up the win in this contest. You couldn't ask for it. Telling a story, advancing the storyline that's probably going to lead to Manders and winning the GCW World title. I gave this match 4 stars. It was excellent. The entire Vandal crew tonight, which I'll cover this more, paid tribute to some ECW legends. So, pardon the interruption. So I'll insert the screenshot as I'm talking here. But I have an update. Chris Napier actually got injured at One Night Only. So I don't know exactly what I'm going to say, but Napier got injured. With that being said, expect a video when I get a few things in. We had the two men that had teamed up literally the night before, and they do this a lot. You had Majestic Justin Vengador taking on the Base God, Gringo Loco. Good lucha shit. You couldn't ask for anything better. This was a very excellent match. I seen it on Twitter. This is a lucha banger. I was like, that fits. This is a great lucha banger. Gringo Loco picks up the victory. I give this match 4 stars. Couldn't ask for anything better. Getting that lucha style back in the ECW Arena, excellent. Then you had Ricky Morton taking on KJ Orso. I'm not going to go too much into this. It was a good match. It was a legend versus a relatively up and comer. Considering KJ is still, he'd been signed to a major company and then got fired. Now he's back on his uprise with this current character. It was a good match. Like, you couldn't have asked for anything better. I give this match 3 stars. The lowest of the night, but it deserves it. It was good. It was a good in a match of. It was a good in a card of bangers. That's all I can say. We move into the next contest, which is La Chola Viperess versus the bad boy, Joey Janela. The biggest thing in this is that Joey came out with an ode to Sabu. He actually, unbeknownst to me till I was looking on Twitter after the match had happened, because he got carried out on a dolly, all tied up in like a straight jacket in the Hannibal Lecter match like Sabu did when he came out and debuted in ECW. The man that brought him out was a indie wrestler named Big Vin, who's actually the son of 911, an ECW original, and he actually broke out his father's vest, his original vest for this segment that Joey did. Very excellent. Couldn't ask for anything better. This was a good, hardcore style match. They used fuckery, but it wasn't overdone. It was just right. This is causing Viperous to gain momentum going into TOS. She is one of the stars. I'm hoping going into TOS, which obviously I will be covering. She wins or goes to the finals. At this point, I don't know who could beat her in the finals. I don't know who her first round opponent would be, but I'm interested to see. But this match overall was 4 stars. Then, not to shit on the previous match, we move into the final 2 matches. I love seeing world title matches this high on the card. Like, it really bugged me that Spring Break had the world title match 3rd. Like, it could have been like a little bit higher on the card. It would have been perfect. Could you call a couple of storytelling matches? Then you had your big main event. But anyway, we had Philly's finest, Marcus Mathers, which I love it because he really started doing this like at the GCW show, which was in New Jersey. I think it was the weekend before, and he cut promos and did stuff to rap. Like, he's tired of being on this losing streak, even though he's excellent performer. He's WWE ID'd, so WWE's watching him. He had taken on the GCW World Champion, the Last Nail, Atticus Cogar. I can't describe this match in words. This is the number one. Look for it. Watch it. It's not going to get any better than this match. You had the perfect balance of high flying, action, hardcore. Because this match, this entire show, like, you had these bangers of matches. They didn't have glass. The ECW Arena, and I think even the Philly Commission, doesn't allow glass. So they told stories without going too extreme. But the best way I could describe it is crazy match. Couldn't ask for a better one. The biggest spot of this match was they fought to the outside. Wow. Mathers gets under the ring steps for some reason, and Atticus just launches him into the back of the steps. And instantly, Mathers just starts to leak. Fighting blood loss and everything, he fought his heart out. You couldn't ask for a better match. This match also is, in my opinion, a 5-star match. I gave this match 5 stars. I wouldn't have asked anybody for anything better. Then we move into our main event. The only thing that could have been better than your previous match is this match. This match was announced like a month ahead of time, or just like less than, maybe a couple weeks. But we had what can only be described as a dream death match. A dream death match for one particular man who's been going to the ECW Arena and watching CZW since he was a fucking kid. Who was the first man to enter this building to an eruption. It's the best way to describe it, of just emotion. You had the one and only, the death match berserker, Bear fucking Bronson, taking on the man, the god, the king of this shit, Nick fucking Gage. not much I can say. You know, just it was a dream death match with no glass. You couldn't have asked for anything better. Again, seek this match out. Seek it out. Watch it. Barry stands toe to toe with the man, and he keeps on ticking. They hit all the greatest hits, but it didn't seem like it really needed anything more. Just two badasses going out and going toe to toe. This match, excellent. Nick Gage picked up the victory in it. Not surprising, but grabs the mic and starts to cut the promo, and they give Bear the fucking moniker. That's it. Just overall. And he said, well, excuse me, why I just do this the right way. And he do it. Long live GC fucking W, because it's MDK all fucking day. And then they go off the air. Best way to end an ECW Arena show. Best way to end this show that I know of. The only way you could have ended this better was basically by announcing they're coming back. So, overall, the only disappointment in this entire show was the KJ Orso Ricky Morton match. That was the only thing. Even the match that led into the segment, it was still good. You got the hits in. The young guys did the flying. The old guys showcased while they were there. The biggest point of this match, or the biggest showcase on this card, was just them showcasing that this is how you do indie wrestling. This is how you do deathmatch wrestling under cuffs. I wouldn't have asked for anything better in my entire life but this show. So, until next time, start to watch out for some live streams, probably on Twitch, for watching back shows. My new series I'm gonna try to do are going to be the NHB shows, not the Pit Fighter shows. Maybe I might watch a Pit Fighter or two, but that I'm gonna do a first reaction watch along to the Florida Deathmatch Carnival, which I have technically already recorded once, but the actual video did not record. It recorded what you're seeing now, my face, but it didn't actually record the actual thing. So I gotta figure out if that is an IWTV thing, or if OBS just didn't like me having two instances of it open. Anyway, this match was a banger. Until next time, peace.